It matters when times are tight, and saving money can really make a difference.
Thanks so much, Eric. I really appreciate you.
Bye, Alex.
Where you get your medicine has never mattered more. That's why we have more locations than any other pharmacy, with pharmacists you get to know right in your neighborhood.
Where you get your medicine matters.
Steiner Green and Feiner really went to bat for my case, and it changed my life. Thank you for getting me $270,000.
Call Steiner Green and Feiner.
800-561-1111. This is South Florida's most watched morning news today in Florida. Now at 10.
Developing now, horror at home. 4 people killed inside an apartment complex in Pembroke Park. 2 other people at the hospital in critical condition, including a 10-year-old girl. We have Team 7 coverage. Trolley tragedy. New surveillance video shows the moment a man is stabbed to death on board.
A murder took place on the condo property. Now does every resident have to pay the price?
But it's like he's trying to run a one-man band out there. Behind his seat. This is a make or break season for you. He's got to make an impact. All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome back, everybody. Listen, it's been a long freaking week. We got a lot to talk about this morning. I could not wait to get on here. I will tell you that. People coming to live stream this morning, welcome back to the Brandon Mason Show. Look, I know a lot of people coming here today. I'm like, hey, where the hell are my people at? Yesterday was out of control. Hit again over 300 people in the live stream. People are like, hey, what's going on here? Things are making a run. We got some big things coming out to you, some big time sponsors. Everybody in the Mason mob, you guys are going to get taken care of for sure. Everybody in the chat, let me say what's up to all you people in the chat right now. Let me scroll up and see who came into the building early. Tracy, good morning to you. Love and appreciate you. Love having you here. You got an applause. Thank you so much. Well, I am in the building. How you doing? Let me go down. Roger's in the building. Came in early. Pops is in the house. Let's go. We got Jeff Lee in the building. Stevie's girl. Brenda, Pitbull Mama. Look, Will, I am. Love and appreciate you. Love having you in the building. Let's go. Let me scroll down real quick. Pitbull Mama, I greatly appreciate it. I know you're going through a lot back there with your husband and all that. I greatly appreciate you joining us every freaking day coming in here into the chat. RB's in the house. How the hell are you doing? Read all your, if I forget somebody, I apologize. I'm just scrolling real quick and trying to see it. Let me tell you something. I appreciate having family in the building, coming and support people out here. I love and appreciate that. Again, Brenda, appreciate love having you in here as well. And Nathan's going to stroll. Where the hell is Nathan at? Nathan's got to pop into the building. Where the hell has he been hiding at? People coming to live stream. Zippity, how are you doing? Brittany's in the building early today. We love and appreciate that. Everybody coming to live stream. We got a lot to talk about this morning. I hope I can pop it up on the screen properly. We're going to see in just one moment if it shows up across the screen. If it's too big, I'll just move it over because we're in a vertical format. Ex-cop Derek Chauvin could be released. Now, at the bottom of the screen, you don't see the whole thing. It's because it's in a horizontal format also. So we're preparing it to be across all YouTube, TikTok. I've been telling you guys this. Everywhere across the world. In every shape or form, it's going to be wide and vertical. So sometimes you'll see it on here. If you're watching in vertical format, you won't see the whole thing. You'll be able to flip it to horizontal to see the whole picture. And if I hit this button here, it may or may not look a little bit different. Let me check it right now. If you guys on the screen here, let me see. Ex-cop Derek Chauvin. There it is. Could be released. Right? I'll let you guys know right now. Welcome to the live stream. Diane Mango, how the hell are you doing? We appreciate you joining us every damn day now. Thank you for coming to the chat. We got a lot of people starting to stir up. I'll tell you, yesterday, again, hit over 300, 400 people in the live stream, and we are running people. Let me tell you, today is going to be one of those days. We got to talk about this. All right, you guys have seen this before. You guys have heard this before. You guys have, I didn't put the picture in the graphic. I dropped it on this side here to give you an idea of what's going on. And as I that little countdown is ticking down because we got some giveaways and stuff we're going to do today. But I want to go over some stuff. Okay. Derek Chauvin, in the George Floyd case, right? Okay. In the George Floyd case, they're like, look, the man could be released. And people are up in arms for a lot of reasons. And listen, we're going to come here unbiased. I'm going to break it down for you in a lot of different ways. I'm not just going to come in here. Hold on, let me check something real quick. I got one other thing I want to make sure that I pop up on here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. We got another picture here that I want to bring into our live stream. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Derek Chauvin, okay, as you know, the cop arrested, this was a while ago now, but now is servicing back. I believe it was back in like 2020. I'm going to read some of this in just one moment as I get ready to pull another graphic up into our live stream, which we need because this guy now, they're saying it's the new organization, administration, yada. At the end of the day, what's happening, people, is they're bringing back all the reasons as to why maybe this case was fraudulent. It wasn't right. What was the cop taught? I'm going to show you in just one moment. Here we go. Derek Chauvin. I have other pictures here that I want to bring up that you guys can actually see a better version of. I saved it on my computer and I said, holy shit, we got to talk about this. In the chat right now, I put the poll in there. But if you're watching it live right now, everybody that's in the live stream, if you're watching us live right now, jump on the computer right now on your chat and put, should he get out, yes or no? And listen, I'm going to give you both sides today. So people come to the chat. If you feel like he should get out, say he should get out. If you feel he shouldn't get out, then go on here and damn it and say he shouldn't. But don't come on here, people, and just say yes because he should stay because you think it's gonna hurt my feelings, someone else's feelings. Come into the chat, okay, and let people know your true feelings. Right? That's what you got to do. Because listen, there's people out there right now, and I got this picture here. I finally got it done correctly here. Let me make sure I got this damn thing done right on my phone and also on the computer screen. Here we go. This is the picture that I need to make sure that pulls up when I press on here when we're talking about this whole damn thing. I got mixed emotions for different reasons. Okay, if you're in the live stream right now, I'm going to break this down for you right now. Welcome to the damn chat, everybody. I just finally got some of this fixed up on here. Welcome to the live stream.
Make some noise!
So as you know, okay, we know why he's in jail, right? Because he was found guilty of basically killing George Floyd, putting his knee on his neck. I'm going to slide this up right now. Here we go. Now we can see this is kind of the image I wanted to pop up here for you guys. Now we already know the situation, right? We already know the situation where people are going to be talking about on a daily basis at this point. Like, hey, he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. But I'm going to break down the reality of what's being said right now on if you think he should get out or he should not get out. Okay, and why this is important is because there's going to be riots. There's going to be all kind of shit. I'm going to scroll through so you can see. I got it where it's George Floyd, I can't breathe. We heard that a million times, right? Then we got into the position it was Derek Chauvin, the knee training, what he was taught in his training, what was going on, right? And then break it down to the point where riots and protests will start again. People coming to live stream today, I'm going to break this down for you in a lot of different ways. I want you guys to hear it from an unbiased perspective, not a perspective of being a family member of mine, or I'm going to break it down for you so you understand. So if you go back in time, right, George Floyd obviously was killed, and Derek Chauvin said, look, I learned this through my police academy. Like, I learned this in my training to do this, right? I learned this in my training to do this. Now, George Floyd, and we're going to get to that in just one moment. I got a picture you're going to see here, the learning of what he was going through when he learned to do this, right? And he goes, hey, I was doing that. And the problem is, people watching now, the problem is, I believe the training, and everyone that comes in here will believe this, I'm sure, you are supposed to do this to make sure you hold that suspect down, right? To make sure you control the scene, to make sure that that suspect is not going to get up, especially if it's just you on the scene as a cop by yourself, you're controlling the situation. When you look around and there were multiple cops sitting there and you had George Floyd on the ground, the problem that comes into play, people watching it live right now, as soon as we 100 people today, we're spinning that wheel, giving out some money and again today. You guys know we do this every damn day. Just saying, I'm going to read all your messages just 1 second. Listen, they are now doing an autopsy, and I've seen it right there. RB said autopsy does lie. People did. It said people coming into the chat. I want to get your opinion on it, people. And listen, this is all love in the chat. Our love for the chat right now. People coming to the building right now. We're in this shit together, right? None of us are seeing the autopsy. None of us, I think, were there at the time. And none of us really can give law and order. We're looking at the judicial system in a way that we can kind of analyze the situation, right? So you're looking at what's going on, and you're looking at a cop who controlled the situation and then even took it a lot further, right? Let's be honest. He took it a lot further. When you have your knee in the side of him, and by the way, I've only talked about this one time on the show. It was like 2 years ago, okay? When you have your knee on a man's neck that long, and you say, my police training taught me to do that, that might be true. That might be true. And I got the picture right here to tell you that he learned it in his police training. He said, look, I learned this in my police training to do this. The problem is, and I think we have to really just look at the main issue, is the suspect moving around? Is the suspect difficult to control? Is the suspect out of hand? Is the suspect out of pocket, if you want to say in 2025? Is the suspect doing things that you can't control, so you have to keep the knee there when you hear him saying repeatedly he can't breathe? Now, everybody knows, the slogan, the line of words choose. When you look at all these different, protests and things, it's I can't breathe, right? This is the whole situation that really, this is what stuck with most people. And I think it stuck with the judge, it stuck with the jury, it stuck with a lot of people, is I can't breathe. Now, what's being brought up now, and again, if you're listening to me right now, I'm going to tell you what's being brought up. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you some facts, but I'm going to tell you, if you're in a live stream, what's happening. So you don't confuse when you come into the live stream this morning. And by the way, good morning to you guys coming to the chat. Timothy Taylor, good morning to you coming to the chat as well. So autopsy don't matter if governor is Democrat. People coming to the chat right now. Everybody coming in, give me your opinion. Now listen, let me break this down. And again, I'm not telling, this part of the show that I'm about to tell you is not my opinion. This is part of the show that's happening. Okay, so listen to this now. So the courts and people now are starting to talk about this. Everything has to be hypothetical, reportedly, so we don't give information that's not true and people get all mad about it, yada, yada, yada. Now, what's being told, okay, and if you're welcome in right now, we have 100 people in the chat, we're spinning that wheel. Everybody smack that like button, stay right here. That he is in a possible position where he could potentially get pardoned, get released, get let go, whatever the case may be, retrial, whatever you want to say. Number one, it was the training that he got to do this. Number one. That's the first thing. Number two, what he's saying, and people are starting to say also, is this. They're starting to say the I can't breathe thing. George Floyd was saying this when he walked out the store that he was in, when he walked out of the building he was in, and then when he actually got arrested and got put on the ground. What they're saying, okay, again, I'm not saying. This is what is being said by people, witnesses, whatever. That he was saying, I can't breathe before he got taken down to the ground. Now, I have no idea if that's true. I have no idea if that's true. What I can tell you is true is that the man he wasn't, look, people can go on and say, oh, he was a good guy and whatever. But I'm going to call a spade a spade. Okay, I'm going to call it like it is because that's what I do on the show. I love everybody that joins us, and I call it like it is. People, you know that you've been joining my show this whole time. I just tell you the truth. Regardless of who likes it, doesn't. George Floyd was not, in my opinion, or people on the outside's opinion, remember, not my friend, my best friend, not my family member. If you're on the outside looking in, George Floyd was not your ideal mentor, okay? And I'm not saying anybody is, not saying that we are, I'm just saying. He wasn't the ideal person that you want to grow up and be like. Now, maybe he has some great personality traits that his family loves or his kids loved or his daughter, whatever, or, the ex-girlfriend or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. So you start to get the idea and the inclination is this guy a good guy or a bad guy? And then you got to understand, regardless if he's a good guy or bad guy or not, there still is ways that police officers have to operate. You guys with me right now in the chat right now? If you're with me this morning, Lisa, good morning to you. Remember, as soon as we hit 100 people in the chat, we're spinning that wheel, giving out some money. So everybody coming to live stream right now, smack that damn like button right now because we're expanding the show. We got a lot of shit going on. I'm about to drop it in there right now so people can see. Smack that like button, baby. Here we go. Boom. I just dropped it into the chat right there. And I'm going to pin it to the top so people don't forget. Nathan, what's going on? Nathan's in the building. How the hell you doing? Timothy Taylor said the police are not the judge and jury. People coming to the chat right now. I'm going to read some of your messages too. Richard said, it's easy for all of us not involved to judge, but in my opinion, he's a scumbag. Let him rot in jail. That could have been our family member or friend. That's true too. Roger said, I have mixed feelings. I think both were wrong. No one needs to die. It's a judgment call. You have to decide in that moving situation. And you know, that's the hard part too, right? That's the hard part too. The hard part is that you have people on both sides and you look at the gentleman and go, you know, the guy, you know, George Floyd wasn't a role model. And then you look at the other side and go, yeah, but you're a cop. You can't do that. Two people coming into the thing together. Then it's told that they had beef in the past, right? Then it's told that they had beast, you know, I said beast. They had beef in the past. They had issues in the past. That this wasn't the first rodeo that these two people came in connection here. Again, this is stuff that's being said. RB said, deep breaths, everyone. That's right. Everybody coming to the chat. Everybody coming to the chat. Deep breaths, because we're calling it like it is. You know, when I take a look at Derek Chauvin and I take a look at what's going on, again, we're about to get to the riots and protests. We're about to get to the training, about to get to all that in just one moment. The breaking news is that he literally is in a position where he might get released. Now, in jail currently, if you didn't know this, he was arrested. He went to Minneapolis. He was in a prison for a while. And I believe he got like 22 years, another 21 years or whatever. He gets sent to Arizona because it was unsafe for him to be in Minneapolis in that prison, right? He goes to Arizona, and then recently he just got his ass beat in jail. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Derek Chauvin in jail recently just got his ass beat beyond measures. And now his ass is in the hospital, okay? He's in the hospital, and a lot of people are like up in arms about it because, A, some of them think he should get his ass beat in jail for a long time. Other people, if it's your family member, you're feeling a lot different, right? If it's your family member, you're feeling a lot different right now because you lost someone who you know actually is a good. We all have those people in our family right now watching this on the live stream right now. I'm sure we all do. I know I do. I'm sure you do. I'm sure most people in this live stream do. We all got those people in our family. We know they're good people, but damn, they screw up all the time. And we're going to plead for them. Because we're going to be like, this guy's a good guy, man. I'm telling you right now, this is my cousin. He's a good guy. This is my uncle. He's a good guy. This is my aunt. She's a good person. This is my best friend. We all do that. You want to know why? Because we know how great they are as people when we're there, when other people aren't around, right? Like, we know how those people are at heart when they're not doing the dumb shit that they do, right? We're on there and we're like, you don't know this guy. He's good. You don't know this girl. And that's true. That's all true. But what happens is you have history of events that you do that tallies up against you, and then people start to have a different opinion of that person. Even if you don't know them, you look at the records, you look at what they do consistently, you look at them as a father, you look at them as a mother, you look at them as a family member, you look at them as a friend, and you have your own opinion, right? So if you guys can hear me loud and clear, put a Y in the chat right now. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear, if you guys are with me right now, because this is some important shit, because this is about to happen. Okay, we're going to get to this point here right now. The training, and then we're going to get to, I'm going to show you here in a minute, the riots that are about to start. So I'm going to break this down for you right now. So Derek Chauvin, here's the knee training situation. And he brought it up on the report. They literally pulled it up in court. And the attorneys have the document. If you ever seen Ben Shapiro, he pulled it up on a YouTube channel, or I believe another channel, but he talked about this, but another channel brought it up and showed, okay, the piece in which this ex-cop was mentioning where he learned this. And it's actually listed in the documents where it shows the knee training that he's taught. It's actually in there, which I thought was, well, what the hell? Why didn't that come out a long time ago? Why didn't you bring that shit up a long time? And people are like, no, he did bring it up, but it got brushed under the rug. Now, what I notice is at the end of the day, it's kind of like you get a lot of training, right? You get a lot of training. And when you get the training, it doesn't specify in there, keep your knee on someone's neck even when they can't breathe. Like that, it doesn't say that, right? What it says is to utilize that, right, in order to basically control the suspect in a way where the suspect can't now retaliate or get up and hurt you or get up and hurt somebody else, or until you get them into cuffs. Now, what I don't understand is why didn't they just get the cuffs on the man and call it a day? You know, and Neo said, what in the Black Lives Matter is he talking about? I'm not in here talking about Black Lives Matter. I haven't brought that up. Actually, I'm the most unbiased person there is, Neo. So if you come to the chat right now, I haven't said any of these people are wrong. I haven't brought up any of that. I'm showing you the reality of what's going on. I'm telling you what's being said in the media. I have not once, and people in the chat, let Neo know right now that I haven't said. In the chat, be like, Neo, what are you talking about? Let him know right now, because I have not said any of that. You guys know so far, watching this so far, I've been telling people that it's possible he could get released, and he has training to use his knee. He also is supposed to get a little more of a fair trial where people in the jury are going to look at this from a whole perspective. So Neo coming to the chat, I'm not sure if it was supposed to be comedy or not, but that's not what I said coming to the live stream. So everybody knows that right now. What I said, again, is that he's expected to get another opportunity to get released. Now, if he does get released, what's going to happen, people? What's going to happen? Riots and protest will come again, right? And I have never said Black Lives Matter in my life. Why? Because being biracial, just so you know, this is why I have an opportunity to talk about this shit. You want to know why? Because black or white, to me, that's irrelevant. What's relevant is good people. And I will tell you this, I don't think George Floyd was a role model person whatsoever. I don't know him, never met him, never talked to him. But I will tell you, my understanding, and even what people have said, and even family members have said he's a great person, but did X, Y, Z. He wasn't a role model individual that I want my kids to learn from. But I will tell you that Derek Chauvin, people say his name differently, so I'm just going to say Chauvin for now, Shaven, Chauvin, whatever. He wasn't really a role model person either, right? And after looking at this, both of these people are 100% wrong, but someone had to die in the situation, right? Or not had to, but someone has died. And Raj, you put it in a good perspective. You said, you know, it goes kind of like, what the hell, but no one had to die. But the problem is, you can't think for a second that you can just keep your knee on a man's neck that long. He's not even using his arms. That's how you know that this man was easily controlled. It looks like he's got his hands in his pockets just chilling, right? That's the problem. And when I look at these videos, look at these pictures, I'm like, bro, there's no reason to do that. Now, what's about to happen, people? We're about to see riots. We're about to see protests. We're about to see shit burning, right? And I got videos on here. I got pictures. Take a look at this, people. This is the kind of shit that we're about to start seeing again. And I'm telling you, this is the kind of shit that we're going to start seeing. Anybody in the chat, drop your state, cities in the chat and let me know. Did you see anything going on? Did you see protests when this shit happened? Did you see any violent shit happening? Drop your state in the chat and let me know. Did you see any of this shit going on? Right? This is what's about to happen. And I'm telling you, and it's not just, black, it's not just white. People, this was an interesting time. This here is a group, right? I would say a lot of African Americans, right? But then when you look at this picture, you're going to see whites, blacks, Spanish. And if I could zoom in and show this picture around, there's a lot of shit that's going to start happening. And the protest and the riots, what I don't get about the riots is this. The protests, I get the protests. And let me tell you something. If you see a protest like this, I respect people that protest like this. You want to know why? Because they come out there and they protest in a way where you read this stuff and they're not vandalizing. They're just like, look, we think this, and it does get, people's eye and it gets people's attention. It does. The problem is when you start doing this, right? You start doing this. This starts looking really bad, right? It starts looking really bad in the culture, starts looking really bad. And people you pay attention, but then all of a sudden more people get arrested, more people get killed. And that turns into a whole situation which is about to happen again. You want to know why? Because people feel the only way to get the attention of the judicial system is to start burning shit, right? And so when I'm taking a look at this, ex-cop, to kneel on a guy's neck that long, right? To kneel on a guy's neck that long, and then the guy dies. Do you know how this guy must feel? I'm not even sure. I mean, if you didn't have any kids and a wife, I'm wondering, like, how he could even live with himself. Like, you're in jail right now. Do you know how he must feel walking around that prison? I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when he went to Minneapolis, he was on, like, solitary confinement for, like, most of the time. And he's getting 21 years. Do you understand 21 years and additional XYZ? It was like 21 and 22 years or whatever added to this. I'm going to pull up something real quick so you guys can understand something. I don't know if you guys know what his charges were, or what he's actually convicted of. I'm going to pull it up right now. Here we go, right here. Derek Chauvin was found guilty on state charges of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. What I don't understand about the judicial system is he's charged of every single one. Why didn't they just find the verdict and here's the verdict? Like, first degree, second degree, third degree, manslaughter, call it like it is, but there's so many damn charges. I don't understand okay, let me read it again. In April 2021, this happened in 2020, I believe, but 2021, April, a Minnesota jury found the ex-cop, Derek Chauvin, guilty of, here it is again, second degree unintentional murder, third degree murder, second degree manslaughter. He was sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison. Okay? And the federal charges, Chauvin pleaded guilty to violating George Floyd's federal rights. Okay? So basically, because he was a cop, you're under more scrutiny, right? You're under more scrutiny. People in the chat right now, if you're watching right now, we had 100 people in the live. We're spitting that. We're giving out some money today. So pay attention. Stay right here. Here's the next thing. He was sentenced to 21 years in federal prison. The federal sentence is served concurrently with his state's sentence. Okay? So what's happening is now, what's about to happen is they're going to look at this case again. And the autopsy again. And the reports again. And the jury again. Was the jury pushing to a direction? They're like, well, you can't look at anything in the media until you finish the trial. You don't think these people in the damn jury look, and again, I'm giving you both sides. I just told you, coming to the chat, right? I just told you that the cop did some dumb shit, right? I just told you this. So people coming to the chat, don't say that I'm picking this as unbiased. I just told you he did some dumb shit. Now we go to the second part. I'm gonna read some of your messages, just 1 second. Here we go. Let me pull this up real quick so I can read some of your messages because I think that's important to do. Timothy Taylor, I'm in Chicago, and that entire summer was looting here in Illinois. It was crazy, right? It was crazy. There was a lot of looting out there in Illinois. Let me see here. Let me pull down. Neo, you can't control provocative. Yeah, I know. Look, can't control anything. At the end of the day, this shit's going to go down the way it's going to go down, right? Here we go. Will Am said, it was just some shitty circumstances. I've had cops do that to me before. Is that right? Will's in the chat said people had their knee on his neck. Holy shit, is that right? Timothy Taylor says, Brandon, you have to name names of those trying to get him released from prison. If it's not Tim Walz, then he ain't going nowhere. It's good. Yeah, out in Minnesota, right? I'm bringing that in a second. Too evil to hope. It was a kangaroo court. What the hell? All right. Who else? Bruce, they charge you with everything they can to intimidate you into copying to one of them. So basically, you'll pick one, or you'll pick a plea. Is that what you're trying to say, Bruce? You'll just pick a plea because they give you all this shit. William, North Carolina, they would not put up with it. Bruce, they are supposed to be set. Let me sequestered, but they aren't. They aren't supposed to watch any news or read anything. Oh, you're talking about the jury? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The jury is not supposed to watch the news or the media. How the hell can you be in that jury and not see any media or anybody talk to you, or you walk down the street and see protests or riots? Like, this shit. For a fact, everybody that's in the live stream right now, damn well that no matter where you went, and by the way, if you're in the jury and your name is listed in the jury, do you understand that people will be looking for your ass too? Like, this is the other thing. This is another whole situation. If you're in that jury, the pressure for that man to go to jail was probably so severe. Because if you're in that jury and you were the one that said not guilty, or you didn't believe all the way to the furthest extent that this man was guilty, then guess what? People are like, well, who's in that jury, right? And that's a whole nother problem. That's a whole nother can of worms. And so the riots are going to start up again, and they would not reevaluate this whole thing, people, if they didn't believe that there was a strong chance of him getting out of jail. Because now it's been, 3 years, 4 years that he's been sitting there. And it's easy for all of us. It's easy for all of us to sit here and think, 3 years, 5 years, 4 years. But when a man is sitting there for the last 3-4 years, it's a long time. It's a long time to go sit in your room for 3 days. Go sit in your room for 3 days with your TV and your games and your Xbox and PlayStation and Netflix and food and order food and whatever. Sit in your room for 3 days. Try that shit once. Right? For 3 days. When you're sick, you just can't move. You're kind of resting. Imagine when you're not sick and your ass is just sitting there for 3 days. And then picture 4 years behind bars when you don't have all this shit. You don't have your freaking Netflix and your computers and your iPods and your tablets and, your iPhones and whatever the hell you got. People in the chat, make sure you sit back and do what? Smoke weed every day. So what I'm saying is this, okay? The people that are hearing this right now are coming to this chat, right? 60 days, Will.i.am, you spent 60 days. What was that like? Tell us in the chat right now how you felt 60 days in. Will, let us know in the chat, people. Let us know 60 days. What was it like? Let the people in the chat know what it was like. Because you know what? I'm reading some of your messages right now. Lisa said, back in the day, before the internet and all, maybe it was possible for the jury to not see any media fairly, but not these days. This is true. RB said, a family of law enforcement so biased, but show true autopsy and camera angles where a knee is not on the neck. These are things, and people are agreeing with you, Lisa. People are coming to the chat right now that are seeing this. I want people to understand. I'm not in no way, shape, or form telling you that he should be released. And I'm in no way, shape, or form telling you that the man is guilty, because I haven't seen shit. I've seen the pictures and all that, the video that I saw, which I can see that being a problem. But what bothers me the most, right, is when I pull the picture up, and this picture, by the way, extends down. I'm just not showing it on the bottom because no one really needs to see the neck situation and all that in this live stream right now. But I will tell you this, to have your knee on a man's neck that long and get up and go, we learned this in police training, that's not going to fly. What's going to fly is how many people now are consistently saying how bad of a person George Floyd was, or, he was saying he can't breathe before he got on the ground. These are all the kind of things that start surfacing. And then it's like the unsafe part for Derek Chauvin to be in a prison, right? Do you feel, people in the chat, do you feel that it's fair? By the way, it says training is not spelled right at the bottom. And did anybody say that to me? Nobody told me that, and I'm really upset about that because I just looked at it and I'm like, what the hell? Unless somebody did, I apologize. But let me go up and fix that because that was an automatic error there. Let me fix that in the chat. Not that you guys care, because you guys are so great. You guys don't give a damn if something's spelled wrong. But I just saw it on there, and I'm going to fix it right now because that's just what we got to do. And I probably shouldn't have said something. I should have just fixed the damn thing. Didn't say anything. There we go. Bang. Fixed it. Bang. Now, back to the topic at hand, people. I'll read some of your messages right now. The hard part is how many people now are going to start looking at this and picking pieces apart and trying. Because in the jury, you have to be proven guilty all the way to, if you have one person in the jury that goes not guilty, the man's not guilty, right? So all the people in the court that were in attendance were looking at them, grilling them, literally grilling them like, yo, Like, you know what I mean? Knowing what's going on. And the shitty part is, you know and I know, if you don't, the minute they walk out that courtroom, they're going to know the names of these people. They're going to be on the computer looking up these people. People are going to have some problems if you didn't leave that place and really be agreeing with the shit, being like, yo, the man is wrong, right? So as I'm showing this stuff, you know, it's shitty, but here comes the riots and protests. So the looting is going to start. You're going to see restaurants close down. You're going to see buildings close down. You're going to see cars getting burned. You're going to see people dying. You're going to see more people getting arrested. You're going to see all this shit about to start happening again. And why? Because the court system has to go through this again and look at the autopsy. Now, if in fact, let's take a bet in the chat right now. And in the chat right now, this is not what you believe, okay? Well, I'm not asking you to put what you believe, if he's guilty or not. I'm asking you, do you think he's going to get out? Yes or no? This is not about, if you say yes, this isn't because you're on his side. So people in the chat, don't take it wrong. No one get hard feelings. It's, do you think he is going to get out? Yes or no? And do not approach it as if you are picking a side. I'm talking about the judicial system. I'm talking about the reality of what's about to happen. I'm talking about when the cops review this. I'm talking about when the judge reviews this. I'm talking about the new jury that reviews this. Do you think that he's actually going to get out once it's all said and done? Because this is starting back up right now. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people. This is going to be a massive game changer because I don't believe, this is my opinion, I don't believe that they're going to bring this whole thing back up again to just swipe it under the rug again. Now, I don't know if he's going to get out or not, but I will say this. I don't think for a second that these people are actually going to reevaluate this whole thing again. And it's not cheap. Tons of people there, tons of media, tons of riots, tons of protests, tons of witnesses, misconstrued information now because we're going back. Listen, we're going back 4 years ago, okay? Tell me this. What did you eat for dinner on Monday? Right? Like, do you remember what you ate for dinner on Monday? I don't know what I ate for dinner yesterday. I'm trying to, I know I do. Sorry. I had steak and rice. Apologize. I know yesterday. But if I got to Monday, I don't remember what I even did Monday. So the problem is, I don't think if you go back 4 years, as the witnesses come in and people saying things and that, and the fact that he's getting his ass beat in prison is going to also add to the equation, right? Some Canadians come in the chat. Fresh boy, what's going on? About to end the show today. We had a lot of conversations. People came running in and out. We had to talk about something pretty briefly. Came to the chat. Richard Carpenter said yes because the system is completely broken. Jason said from Canada, watching your country implode morally and economically while trying to bring us down with you. We want nothing to do with anything. United States jurisdiction is gone. Jason, what the hell? Like, what does that got to do? What does that got to do with Derek Chauvin and George Floyd? Like, what the hell? And I appreciate your messages. I mean, I love having you come in here. We have a lot of Canadians, by the way. I love Canada. I don't know what the problem is. I know Trump steps in and wants to bring Canada together because, and we talk about this too. You know, yesterday we had over 300 people in the live stream because we were talking about Trump and what's going on. All I know is this. I can tell you this, and I mean it wholeheartedly. Canada better want to be friends right now because I can tell you for a long time, I can tell you who supports Canada. I can tell you who protects Canada. And I can tell you that down here in America, we actually protect you guys up there in Canada. And we love Canada. So I don't know what the problem is. But I do know that Trump wants you guys to join us, join forces, because without America, I'll be completely honest, Canada cannot protect themselves against anyone that's going to be strong. Russia, China, any of these countries wants to come over here and mess with Canada. What's Canada going to do? They're going to call Trump on the phone. Right? Got to call Trump on the phone. So I'll read these messages. He said, if Chauvin gets out, it's over for justice, Steamy. We laugh when you guys say that you must not have heard of us in war. It's not hearing you guys it's not hearing war. It's the fact that Canada, it's a whole other topic. Not trying to go down that road right now. I'm just saying that when it comes to Canada, you might understand and do understand that a lot of your celebrities from Canada all moved to America. A lot of them did. And we do protect Canada in many ways and send a lot of money to Canada in many ways. I'm just saying, you guys know for a lot of beautiful things up there. Hockey, great. A lot of those guys play in America. So I'm just saying, all love and respect to people in Canada. Look, at the end of the day, as I sign off today, you guys coming to the chat, I greatly appreciate you guys. Enjoy your days today, people. Nobody get your panties in a bunch. This was a good conversation. I think looking at this again, you got two people in a terrible situation. Unfortunately, the cop did do the wrong thing, right? You learned what you learned, but you did the wrong thing. And a guy is missing. He's gone. He's passed because of what you did. And he told you reportedly he couldn't breathe. And you disregarded that. And it wasn't like you couldn't, stop the situation. It wasn't like you didn't have backup. It wasn't like you didn't have the opportunity to control the situation by not doing that or stopping doing that. So I think in the end of the day, the guy's guilty of what he's guilty of. It's sad. It's true. I hate it. The world hates it. The riots, we hate the riots as well. So we want to get through this. People coming to the chat, I appreciate you. Jason, I appreciate you as well. People coming to the chat, everybody in here. And I know there's no disrespect, Jason. It's all love. You know that. I just told you I love Canada. At the end of the day, some of these conversations go crazy. Yesterday, again, about 300-400 people in the live stream, and I really appreciate that. Yesterday we had over 8,000 views in 30 minutes, and we are building as we get ready to end the show today. All love to you guys. Tomorrow I'll be back on here for Friday. If for some reason you don't see me in the morning tomorrow, actually, you'll see the thumbnail up at night. So you guys know for the show the next day, you'll see it at night. So if you log in around 10 o'clock at night, you will see what the show is for tomorrow. If you don't see it the night before, it's because we're not doing a show because of XYZ. Something's going on. I'm traveling. It's spring break right now. So you might not see me tomorrow, but I'm going to try my best to be on here. Tomorrow's the only day. I'm here Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. every day. All love, and I appreciate everybody coming in here. It's really, very important that we call. By the way, Jason, we start calling people in next week to the show in the wide stream, horizontal and vertical format. I want you to call in. I want to talk to you about Canada for a minute. I want to talk to you about what's going on. Please enlighten us, because a lot of people here maybe don't know as much as we think we know about Canada. And I would love to hear some of the information on that. Subscribe to the show, add the show. You guys have a great rest of your day. And tonight I will do my best to add the thumbnail in there for tomorrow's morning show, which we should be able to do. I know my kids want to take a little trip. So we take a trip. I may not be on here, or I may be live on my phone. Okay? All love to you guys. Make sure to spend it with your family. Times are going fast. And this is a sad situation we had to talk about today, but it's coming back up. Prepare for riots, protests, wars in the streets, things being shut down. Terrible situation. But all love to you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And again, I will do my best. If I can't come into my studio, I might do my best to pull the phone up and talk on my phone in a vertical format as I'm walking through where we're at to share our day with you guys and come up with another topic for tomorrow's point of conversation. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
Temperatures rise back up. That's your 7-Cent forecast.
All right, it's time for a look at Wall Street now. The Dow is up about 54 points. The NASDAQ is up 46 points, and the S&P is up 12 points.
Well, top of the biz buzz this morning, the price for copper has reached a new record high.
Yeah, the surge in copper prices followed reports that President Donald Trump may impose tariffs on copper imports in the coming weeks. Prices for the metal have soared by 20 to 25%. It's used widely in construction and manufacturing, as well as electronics, energy, and defense.